Hi, David. I am going to start with asking you who you are in this moment, who you feel yourself to be in this moment.
I feel myself to be on a journey becoming who I was always born to be
Mm,
as a human being. And the more I think about it and the more I thought about it, the answer just gets shorter, 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 and
mm,
shorter. And the conclusion that I've come up with is a human being born to pursue, discover truth, and joy. And it's just, for me, it's just that simple. That simple. And of course, there have been many details and events throughout my life. And those were just a part of the process of that journey, which I realized. It doesn't necessarily make me who I am, but it helps me with moving forward on pursuing, discovering truth and joy, mostly about myself.
mhm.
But also, once, there's that saying, know thyself. And I think when you know thyself, you have a better understanding of the world and humanity and other human beings, what they do, how they do things, what sort of thoughts they could be having, because those are all things that I went through as well. Details are different, but the I guess the outcome or uh, what you realize, emotions are all the same. People just experience it with their unique occurrences and their perception. So, um, yeah, to simply put, I'm a human being that was born to experience truth and joy.
Can you speak a little bit about what truth and joy are to you in this experience of yourself as a human being?
Just to know that we are all capable and have the potentiality for greatness. And through our accomplishments and realizations, to experience that joy within oneself. And if you can experience that within oneself, then you can experience that with others. The details And they are personal, very, very personal and intimate. Everyone has their own story. Everybody does. And I'll reserve those intimate details with those relevant relationships that I currently have, friends, families, and business associates. They're also friends
Mhm.
or can become friends.
So, looking back, what has shaped who you are right now in terms of people, places, human contact, your human community, family, parents, mentors, teachers, colleagues, the human beings around you? How much of who you are now was shaped by them?
Greatly. I would say 100%. And I think that's one of the purposes of human beings and family and friends and business associates. There's a song that reminds me, and I forget the title of it. I think it came out in the 90s or 2000s or 2010. It's not an old song,
Mhm.
but the song basically portrays that I'm a changed person because of you.
Mhm.
Different impacts in life gives you the desire and the decision to change for the better, to elevate oneself, to becoming a higher version of themselves. So whether it be a friend or a significant other or children even, because you have such an impact on your children, such an impact. And yeah, that's it.
And do they have
It's
an
a it,
impact on you?
oh yes, of course. I think it was a mirror of myself. And in order to change what you see in the mirror, you have to change yourself. Yeah.
So you said 100% of who you are now is shaped by the humanity around you, the human beings around you, community, mentors, colleagues, family members. But you also said that there was an original you.
I guess it's the reflection and the awareness
Mhm.
of who I was born to be,
The choices you made.
the choices I made. Correct. The choices. Choices made by the unawareness of those choices. And now the awareness of those choices. They have that saying, you don't know, you just simply don't know until you become aware of what you don't know. And at that point, you can choose to change.
I'm I'm starting to understand that you've gone through a lot of change.
And that change can really reflect onto the whole beingness of you, right? I mean, not
Mhm.
just a personal life and how you deal with people, but how you deal with people, and it also reflects on uh, the success that you have achieved
Mhm.
and further success that you will achieve. So it plays a part in everything.
So, can you describe any challenges that you've overcome because of the people around you helping you, the original you, to become better in some way, to become stronger in some way, to overcome them? I'm asking this because I'm going to ask the same thing in the third question with regard to technology. So,
Well, I guess, that's one of the intimate questions, personal questions, because these experiences, and I hope to help those
mhm,
that can relate, that I can relate to. Well, this is a specific incident, but this is just a generality of how becoming better as you, as my own
mhm,
self,
right.
okay, can bleed into not just the personal, but also the professional in work. So I took some contract work and into an industry I had no clue about. But the person liked me and wanted me to help, their business, their company.
Mhm,
And it's all, in business, it's all about business, acquisition. It's all about revenue. That's really what when you're operating a business.
mhm.
And then there's exit and M&A and sales of the company, but the but it took me a couple of years, but I was able to generate about $8 million of recurring revenue for this company.
Wow. Yeah.
So, and I've applied the principles that I've learned, the awareness. Everybody has the potentiality for greatness. And I do hope that throughout my life, throughout my journey, whether it be in a professional point of view or just helping somebody have peace within themselves,
Mhm,
or just an experience that life can be good
mhm.
and life is good. And they can, experience it and remember that.
So, you started out working at this firm, not knowing anything about the industry, and you learned within the context, within that experience, that professional experience, enough to be able to generate a lot of revenue for the company. So you overcame the hurdle of not knowing anything about the company. How did you learn so much? Was it quick? And was it you, something inside you that helped you learn, or was it the people around you that were so amazing that they supported you in that way?
When I first got to that company, there were a lot of things wrong with that company. But I just focused on me and made the decisions on what I could do and what my attitude was going to be. And I think when there's more awareness, there's definitely more clarity. And that helps you navigate. Now, of course, just like in any business or industry, oh, the economy is like this, or in our industry, or in that section of the country, they're not doing so well. What do you think? Well, I don't think about that.
Mhm.
I just think about what I'm going to do, what's within me. So I think those are the types of, I guess, processes and things that you become aware of in this evolutionary journey.
So
And
focus played a big part.
focus, yeah, focus plays a big part. Focus does play a big part. You can't read a book without focus, and the more you focus, the more practice you have on focusing, and the more focused you, you know, become naturally. So it's human beings, we are habitual beings.
Mhm.
We are very habitual beings, and so are animals, but we're not animals. We're not type of animals either. Uh, Animals, there's that term, dog eat dog world, survival of the fittest. Those are animalistic principles. We're not animals. We don't bark at, we don't bite, tear up other human beings. Some people tend to think that way, but we're creative souls, not habitual animals, and we can change our habits. So I've, I guess, made it my goal to change the bad habits to good habits and let it work for me, my family, friends, those around me, for business. It's a win-win all around.
Mhm. So when you look back, where has technology played a role in your life? Helpful, harmful, or both? Social media,
For
work tools, AI, phone, medicine.
phones are definitely helpful. Like we're on Zoom now. This was this was on movies in the past, right? 10, even 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
This was on movies, but technology definitely helps with communication and staying in touch, which we should use it for. Um, and as you know, it can be used both ways. Nuclear power is a wonderful power source, but it does have its polarity, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So AI, ChatGPT, great source of information on the web, what you can find. You know, you can really learn or educate yourself with anything if you apply it. Just to give a little quick example. My son taught himself calculus at 10th grade watching YouTube
It's great.
and passed the test. So there's a lot of information out there, and I really like technology in that way. I don't do a lot of social media. Um, I just, I don't know. I just don't feel the need to make a statement.
Mhm.
And those that know me. So, yeah, helpful in many ways that I've used. So, for me, it's been very helpful.
Great. Was there a moment when something was not working perfectly for you and it really mattered to you?
Yeah, everybody has those moments. Everyone. And it's just taking those moments and realizing that they're learning experiences. Because if you don't learn from those moments, you don't get to, I guess, level up.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So, how did you
many
make the
moments.
shift?
Yeah,
How did
it's
you
just
make the
like,
shift?
right, the shift. And just like Thomas Edison, somebody asked him, I think, you failed 10,000 times, but Thomas Edison said, well, I figured out 10,000 ways where it didn't work.
Right.
So it's just that perspective change.
Mhm.
It's just a perspective change. Just like you can say the same thing to 10 people, and you have somebody over here that, really comprehends what you're saying and agrees with you. Whether they can apply it or, embody it themselves, that's a different story. That's a different subject matter. But so you have one on one end, and you have another person on the other end that completely disagrees or doesn't care and wants you to stop talking. And then you have everybody in between. It's their own perspective, my perspective. You know, people can go to amusement park, and maybe that day is very, very crowded.
Mhm.
One person can still be having the time of their lives. Another person, too hot, too crowded, and just can have a dreadful day having the same environment, but having different experiences,
Mhm.
different perspective. And not everything's going to be hunky dory and things that happen in life, but
So it sounds to me like when you say to have um, perspective also means to be at a remove from it. So the shift, what I'm hearing is the shift is that you step back and look at it again and look at it in a different way. Because when you're in it and it seems challenging, you're kind of stuck in it. And then when you remove yourself, you have some perspective on it. You can say, no, that wasn't a failure. I learned 10,000 ways that didn't work, to quote your Edison example.
correct, correct. And that's why they, say don't make a rash decision, especially in anger
Mm-hmm.
or in frustration. Yeah. A lot of the issues or challenges we, have in life is is with dealing with people and coworker, family member, friend, whoever it may be, or
Mm-hmm.
and then once in a while you get these fleeting moments of thought, fleeting thought. And that thought is of understanding, acceptance, embrace, and peace.
Mm-hmm.
Those solutions, thoughts of solutions that pertain to those characteristics. But it's a fleeting thought. It's just, it's gone. And you're back to your world doing things that you habitually do, thinking what you habitually think, whether it be personal or for work or at a workplace. But nonetheless, those thoughts came to you because that is the real you, the inner you. Everybody has those experiences. So that just goes to show that everybody has the potentiality for greatness, peace, love. Yeah,
Great. That is inspiring. Thank you so much.
my pleasure.
I really appreciated your time.